G'day guys, welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. We're continuing with our best 17s for season 2025. We've got about 3 teams left, one of them being the Newcastle Knights. A really interesting chat for season 2025. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you come and join the Roo Crew for season 2025. We'll have a SuperCoach comp launching on Sunday night. It will be a $10 entry with every cent going back to the overall winner. And I'm going to throw in a $1,000 cash prize on top of that. So a lot of money to be made in there from a SuperCoach perspective, along with all of our extra content. Link is down below. If our Kanguru hats haven't sold out by this point, go and grab one of them. Also a link in the description. Let's get stuck into the Newcastle Knights. Now, with these sides, I've been giving you my best 17, not the likely 17. I mentioned the likely 17 as we go. This is probably the team that I think my side that I would select will be most different from the side that Adam O'Brien will select. And to be honest with you guys, I have no idea what this Knight side is going to look like. I think whatever it looks like in round 1, it could be completely different in round 5. This is just the reality of the Newcastle Knights at the moment. They're chopping and changing. There's a lot going on. It's hard to work out where everyone sits. So we'll do our very best, but I'll take you through the 17 that I would pick. And then as we go through that, I'll point out where I think there could be differences. So for me, Kalen Ponga is the obvious choice at fullback, the skipper of the club. He's one of the guys that will be in there. Likely 17, my best 17, and just about any 17 you could find for Newcastle in their existence. So KP at fullback. My wingers, I personally would go with Greg Margie on the left wing, Fletcher Sharp on the right wing. He was tremendous the back end of last season, Fletcher Sharp. I wouldn't be moving him. It sounds like the Newcastle Knights are going to. About 2 hours ago, their first trial team came out. He's been named in the halves as per the rumours. He did play in the halves growing up, guys, so I'm not saying it can't work, but Fletcher Sharp would be on the wing for me as it stands right now. Margie, looking for a bit of a bounce-back season this year. Him outside Bradman Best, I think it's the best spot for him. Centres, they pick themselves. Bradman Best at left centre. Dane Gagai will line up at right centre. They're easy selections. Now, strap the fuck in, because let's talk about the halves. I have no idea how this is going to shape up. If it's anything like last year, it could change on many occasions throughout the year. The rumours coming out of Newcastle are that Tyson Gamble and Fletcher Sharp are lining up in the halves. The first trial team came out a few hours ago. Fletcher Sharp, he is lining up at 5'8", and Jack Cogger named at halfback with Gamble and Jacko on the bench. Read into that what you will. I don't know. This is what I would do. I would have Will Price at 5'8". I've been saying this for a few weeks now. I'd love to see him given an opportunity there. I was at a function the other day and Joey was there. He was backing in Will Price to play 5'8" as well. Not a bad tick of approval. I just think the kid, he's exciting. I think he'll gel really well with KP. Defensively, he was better than I thought he'd be coming into first grade, which was my big concern last year. I'd be giving Will Price an opportunity. If I'm playing against Newcastle, the last thing I want to deal with is Will Price at 5'8". He's unpredictable. He's got a lot of flair to him. I think he suits KP. I'd be picking him at 5'8" or giving him the opportunity. Halfback, honestly, at this point, I don't care. I don't care who they pick at halfback. Just pick a genuine halfback and leave them there. Hastings, Cogger, Crossland. One of those 3 I don't mind. I'd rather you have Hastings or Cogger there. And I'm at the point now I don't actually mind which one it is. I think both will do a very similar job. And I think that Will Price could be a really good fit for both of them. So Hastings or Cogger, pick one of them as your halfback. They're the 2 best halfbacks out the club, whichever one you want it to be. I'm actually completely okay with. Gun to my head, I would probably go Hastings just because he's got you to the finals previously, but I think they can be successful with Cogger as well. So just pick one of them and stick with them and leave them there. They both are very capable and are both willing to do a job for you. Just pick one of them. That's what I would do. What it sounds like the Knights are going to do is have Fletcher Sharp in there and maybe Cogger at 7, maybe Gamble. I don't know, but that's what I would do. Hastings or Cogger with Price at 6. I think it's the best way forward for the Newcastle Knights. Up front, Jacob Saifidi. Obviously, Daniel has left. He's left a massive hole on that side. Jacob Saifidi really needs to step up this year. He'll be partnered with Leo Thompson, leaving at the end of the season, obviously, but he will start in the front row for them. Jersey 9, I'm going with Jaden Brayley. I think he's the best hooker at the club. I think Phoenix Crossland is very talented. There's probably more value in Phoenix over Jaden Brayley, but I think Jaden Brayley's a leader at the club. He has to start in Jersey 9. My edges, Dylan Lucas. He will be on one edge for me. He'll obviously play for the Indigenous All-Stars this weekend. Very keen to see him go around. I thought he was fantastic in season 2024. He's an automatic on an edge for me. My other edge, I'm going with KPP. I think he can improve on his first season. I think he's the best option there. You got guys like Thomas Cant. You've got Tyson Frizzell. Cant, I still have him behind KPP. And Frizzell, I want to use him somewhere else, as I've been saying for 2 years now. KPP, he'll line up on one edge. I think Dylan Lucas on the other side. I think you'll see Lucas on the right, KPP on the left. But from highlights I saw of KPP in the Super League, he was playing right centre in a lot of those games. So I'm open to seeing him on the right edge and Dylan Lucas on the left edge, but we'll see. I think those two have to be your edge back rowers though. Jersey 13, I'm going to stick with the hog, Adam Elliott. I think he will wear jersey 13. He'll do another job for them. Very experienced campaigner, tough, and I think he leads that culture that the Knights have of just hanging in every contest. So that's my starting side as it starts right now. KP at fullback, Sharp on the wing with Marcy on the other side, Best and Gagai in the centre, Price at 5'8", Hastings or Cogger in the halves, at halfback, Jacob Saifiti and Leo Thompson start up front, Blake Brayley in jersey 9, Lucas Kai-Pearce-Paul on the edges, Adam Elliott in jersey 13. My 14, this is where I'd go with Crossland or Gamble. I think Gamble's probably, or arguably, a better footballer maybe, but I think Crossland offers you more. So I would probably go with Phoenix Crossland, but one of those two. 15, Tyson Frizzell. You guys would have noticed I didn't have him in my starting side. I think his best spot for the Newcastle Knights, or where he can add the most value to the Newcastle Knights, is as a middle forward. I've been saying this for a few years, and I think with Daniel Saifiti going, I think it's time to pull the trigger. Leo Thompson leaving in 12 months' time. I think that's going to absolutely, without a doubt, force their hand to move Tyson Frizzell in the middle. But I think he's at that point in his career where I want him coming off the bench. I still want him playing 40, 50 minutes, maybe more. But I think coming off the bench, when there's a little bit of a drop-off, when Leo Thompson comes on, I want to put Tyson Frizzell on because he can sort of maintain that high intensity. So that's how I would do it with Tyson Frizzell. Jersey 16. You're probably looking at like a Brodie Jones or a Croker here. I'd be okay with either of those guys there. Jersey 17, I'm looking at Hopwood, a young guy that I think will make a bit of a splash this year and become pretty relevant up there at Newcastle. And you've also got Leo Thompson's brother as well. I believe it's Tyrone Thompson, who I'm keen to watch in trials. We're actually going to see him for the first time this weekend in Knights colours. Keen to see how he goes. I think it's very evident when you look at that side, guys, and you're talking about the guys that I'm talking about sort of playing through the middle. They're very short in the middle. I've sort of thought at points over the last 2 years they've been short in the middle. Now I'm a little bit concerned. If one of Elliott, Saifiti or Leo Thompson goes down injured, suspended, whatever it might be, all of a sudden I think the Newcastle Knights are in dire straits when it comes to middle forwards. I already have big concerns about how their middle forwards are going to go as they stand right now. And I've moved Frizzell in there, which I'm not convinced they will. In their trial the other day, he was named in jersey 13, so that's a positive sign. But I don't know if that's just a case of they're missing a heap of middle, so they have to play in there, or whether he will play there. But I think it has to be the move that the Newcastle Knights have to make. So from jersey 1 to jersey 15, I really like this Knights lineup. It's just that jersey 16 and 17, those forwards coming off the bench, that I think they really have to step up this year, or I think it could be a tough little season for the Newcastle Knights. Once again, guys, I think they're one of the harder teams to predict, because I think genuinely the coach is one of the harder guys to predict week to week what he's going to do and what changes he's going to make, with all due respect to him. I think that's just been the reality over the last year or two, that, you know, he will make changes. They have still made the 8 the last 2 years, which full credit to them and full credit to Adam O'Brien. Despite, in my opinion, the chaos he creates, they hang in every contest and they find a way to win enough games to make the top 8. Not threatening for a premiership, but nor are 12 other teams in this competition. So you don't hold that against Newcastle, but they do manage to get into the top 8 the last 2 years. So hopefully they can do it again. I have my concerns. I think they're going to drop down the ladder. They're one of my teams that I feel confident in saying will miss the 8 this year, but we will see. He seems to find a way, despite the chaos that they create for themselves through their own team list. We'll see what he comes up with for round 1. I'm very confident it'll look very different to the side that I have picked, but I really do hope the one decision he makes is moving Tyson Frizzell into the middle, because if he doesn't, I have grave concerns for how this side is going to go in 2025.